Every time you buy gas, you're funding American military power. Not because America sells the oil, because every barrel of oil sold on Earth is priced in US dollars. And that simple fact is the foundation of the modern empire. Welcome back to Past to Profit, where history meets money. In June 2024, Saudi Arabia let a 50-year agreement expire. An agreement that required them to sell oil only in dollars. The news barely made headlines, but it was one of the most significant geopolitical events in decades. Because the petrodollar system isn't just about oil, it's about power. And when that system breaks, the empire built on it starts to crumble. Let me show you how it works, and why it's falling apart right now. To understand the petrodollar, you need to go back to 1971, the moment Nixon killed the gold standard. Suddenly, the dollar wasn't backed by anything physical. No gold, no silver, just trust. But trust is fragile. And the world was watching America print money to fund a war. Inflation was rising. The dollar was weakening. America needed something to replace gold. Something the world needed. Something only dollars could buy. Oil. In 1973, two things happened. First, the Arab oil embargo sent prices skyrocketing. Second, Nixon's administration saw an opportunity. Henry Kissinger flew to Saudi Arabia, and he made them an offer. America would provide military protection, advanced weapons, political support, security guarantees. In exchange, Saudi Arabia would do two things. First, price all oil sales in US dollars. Second, invest their oil profits back into US Treasury bonds. The Saudis agreed, and the petrodollar was born. Here's why this changed everything. Oil is the most traded commodity on Earth. Every country needs it. Transportation, manufacturing, electricity, agriculture. If oil is only sold in dollars, every country needs dollars. So when China buys oil from Saudi Arabia, they can't pay in yuan. They have to convert yuan into dollars first, then buy the oil. When Europe buys oil, they convert euros into dollars. Japan converts yen. India converts rupees. The entire world has to hold dollars just to buy energy. This creates what economists call artificial demand. Countries need dollars not because they want them, but because the system requires them. And where do those dollars come from? The United States, through trade, through debt, through financial markets. This is why America can run massive trade deficits and still have a strong currency. Because no matter how many dollars they print, the world needs them to buy oil. It's genius, ruthless, and it's kept the empire running for 50 years. But there's a second part to the deal. One most people don't know about. When Saudi Arabia sells oil for dollars, they don't keep those dollars under a mattress. They invest them. And the Kissinger deal required them to invest heavily in US Treasury bonds. This means Saudi oil profits flow right back into financing the US government. America borrows money. Saudi Arabia lends it. And the cycle continues. Other oil-producing countries followed the same model. Kuwait, UAE, Qatar, all of them recycling petrodollars into US debt. This allowed America to spend far beyond its means. Defense budgets, welfare programs, wars, all funded by borrowed money, backed by oil sales, denominated in dollars. It's a closed loop, and it's the foundation of American financial dominance. But here's the part they don't advertise. The system only works if everyone plays along. And what happens if a country tries to opt out? Iraq, 2000. Saddam Hussein announced he would start selling oil in euros instead of dollars. 2 years later, America invaded. Saddam was overthrown, and Iraqi oil went back to being sold in dollars. Libya, 2011. Muammar Gaddafi proposed creating a gold-backed African currency to replace the dollar for oil sales. NATO intervened. Gaddafi was killed. Libyan oil exports resumed. In dollars. Iran tried to create its own oil exchange, selling in currencies other than dollars. They've been under crippling sanctions ever since. The pattern is clear. Challenge the petrodollar, and you become a target. This isn't conspiracy. It's policy. The dollar's reserve status depends on oil being priced in dollars. And America will protect that system by any means necessary. But now cracks are showing. Big ones. In 2022, Russia was hit with the most severe financial sanctions in history. Frozen out of SWIFT. Cut off from dollar transactions. Assets seized. Russia responded by demanding payment for oil and gas in rubles. Europe resisted, but eventually, some started paying. China watched closely and accelerated plans to trade oil in yuan. They signed deals with Saudi Arabia, with Russia, with Iran. The Shanghai Petroleum Exchange now allows oil trading in yuan, backed by gold, a direct challenge to the petrodollar. Then came the BRICS expansion. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, now joined by Saudi Arabia, UAE, Iran, Egypt. These countries represent 40% of global GDP, and they're building alternative payment systems, bypassing the dollar entirely. In June 2024, the Saudi Petrodollar agreement officially expired. Saudi Arabia can now sell oil in any currency: yuan, euros, rupees, even digital currencies. This doesn't mean the petrodollar dies overnight. The system is still entrenched. Most oil is still priced in dollars. But the monopoly is breaking. And once countries realize they have options, the artificial demand for dollars starts to fade. Here's what that means. If the world doesn't need dollars to buy oil anymore, they won't hold as many dollars. Demand drops, the currency weakens. And when the currency weakens, America's ability to borrow cheaply disappears. Interest rates rise. Debt becomes expensive. The empire becomes unaffordable. The petrodollar didn't just fund American power. It made American power possible. Without it, the US can't run trillion-dollar deficits without consequences. Can't maintain 800 military bases worldwide. Can't print money and export inflation to the rest of the world. The empire doesn't collapse. It just becomes normal. Another country, with the same constraints as everyone else. This is why the petrodollar matters. It's not about oil. It's about the system that lets America operate outside the rules everyone else has to follow. For 50 years, the dollar wasn't backed by gold. It was backed by oil, and the military power to enforce that arrangement. But empires don't last forever, and the foundation holding this one up is starting to crack. When historians look back, they won't say the empire ended with a war or a crash. They'll say it ended when the world stopped needing dollars to buy oil. And that moment might be right now. If this gave you a new perspective, hit subscribe. History has the answers, and on Path to Profit we'll show you where to look.